everybody, how are we? I hope you're well. Konsakija here. This is Inspire YG. If it's your first time here, welcome. And thank you for everybody else who subscribed, everybody else who've been here with me throughout this journey. I just want to say thank you, and I don't take it for granted. So I've been MIA as usual. I have this hiatus that I do once in a while, and I disappear from YouTube. But I'm always back. I'm always back. This always feels like home. So yeah, I disappear and then I'm back eventually. So hope everybody has been well. I have been everywhere but YouTube, to be honest. But you know, for good reasons. I have not been away just wasting time doing nothing with my life. My life continued even though it halted a little bit on YouTube. I'll speak a little bit about where I was or what I've been up to. However, I just want to take this time just to say that I'm glad to be back and I've missed it here. And just let me know down the bottom on the comment section what you've been up to and what's new in your world, what's exciting you at the moment. All those things are amazing and they're awesome to hear. I always love when people are, you know, when things are going well for people, when people are achieving their dreams, when people are following the path that was charted for them to follow. And especially when, even though the journey gets ups and downs, I think I'm a true believer. The journey is, the journey, the experience is even better than the destination. Because the destination, you get there and all you say is, wow, we're here. But the journey is where you, even if it's mountains and valleys and ups and downs, it doesn't matter. That's where we get the lessons. That's where we get the reasons. That's where our reasons, our why, our reasons to why we do what we're doing or we go where we're going. Those sort of get cemented throughout the journey as opposed to at the destination. So that said, I want to little bit plug my foundation. So I feel really humbled and honored that I was able to do this because I've always really wanted to give back in many ways. And Inspire YG, YG is an acronym for Young Generation. This is one way of giving back. My journey, pretty much from the first video I ever did a couple of years ago, has always been about sharing some of those opportunities that I've had along the way, but also just saying, look, I've learned of this thing up there. It sort of worked for me. Do you want to try it? Not necessarily say you have to try because it worked for me, because it's also a personal journey. But I've always been a believer of, if something good happens in my life or if I hear or learn of something good, I always love to share that. And I get joy with sharing good things. I get joy in sharing a piece of meal. I get joy in sharing a piece of cake. I get joy giving people a piece of what I have. So this is why Inspire YG exists today. And I think this is why Hakiki Foundation was born as well. So a little bit about Hakiki Foundation. I will put a link. I'll put a link on the description on the description box of this video. Just a little bit in a nutshell, Hakiki Foundation is a foundation I started last year. And it was basically me giving back to the Kenyan society, to the children in Kenya, not just, it's basically my passion in education, my passion in advocacy, and in quality education, and how much I know education can open doors of opportunities in life. The belief that I have in that is why I started Hakiki Foundation. So basically, the foundation supports children who are on the journey of their education, especially children who come from, less fortunate backgrounds. to support them so that they can stay in school and so that they can actually study and get the really essentials that they need to stay in school. But our Hakiki Foundation has got different umbrellas. We also have Period Pride Project, which is a project that I started to provide accessible and environmentally friendly period or sanitary products. So I've shared my journey before, and I've done a video. I'll put probably a screenshot here on. If you haven't watched the video, you can go back to it after this. But it's a video on period poverty that I did a while back, and I'm really passionate about that topic because I'm one of the people in the world who've really struggled with period pain, with primary dysmenorrhea, and I am still on the journey. It's not as bad today as it was a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago. However, I'm still passionate about it. I'm passionate about the discussions of why, there could be a girl somewhere in the world who still cannot go to school because they do not have access to menstrual products. And especially today, in this day and age, where we're talking about climate change, where we're talking about having them accessible, but not just accessible, but environmentally friendly. So making sure they're hygienically getting accessible menstrual products, but not just that, making sure that they're environmentally friendly, where this is the conversation we have when you're talking about how can we dispose them in a way that we are not harming the environment. So this is a good, and Hakiki Foundation does have a website, and I will put a link to the website, but it is hakikifoundation.com. I appreciate you. I'll be very glad if you can share the link to your with your friends, and I will be also glad if you attach to actually donate to our cause. There are ways there in on the website, ways in how you can actually support us so that we can develop and grow and support as many children and as many young people around the world. So that said, I also have Hakiki Boutique, which is a shop, and I'll put a bit of a screenshot here. For those who are in Kenya, a place called Thika, just next to Mathai Supermarket, Mama Ngina Drive. There is a shop there that you can also access. You can also access the period products, the period undies, and you can also get some beautiful bags and jewelry, just all that supporting the cause of Hakiki Foundation. So in a nutshell, that's what I was or I've been up to in the past couple of months or days that I've been MIA. However, on top of that, I still have a full-time job. And for those who are new here, or for those who don't know much about what I do here, it's my background. I have a background in social work, did more units in psychology. So I'm very passionate about mental health, advocacy, and everything else to do with diversity, inclusion, and belonging. So that's pretty much what I do. That's my background. I love to imagine a world where everybody could actually get a job, everybody could actually do whatever it is that they feel they're passionate about, or they follow their purpose in life, regardless of how different they feel that they are from everybody else based on, I don't know, disabilities, appearances, accents, nationalities, whatever it is that makes you feel like you're different from what it is, or from the mainstream society that you live in. I love to believe that if everybody was given an opportunity to excel, everybody would excel. And I am blessed to be in a country like Australia, where a country that gives everybody a fair go. I believe that because that's what I feel like this country offered me. So that said, today, I thought I'm going to come here. Oh my God, that was huge. It felt like I have been so away that I even feel like, do I even remember how to do YouTube anymore? Like, is even doing YouTube a thing? But I know so many people who've always wanted to start YouTube or to start even doing this kind of vlogs. And you start it and you think it's easy, especially when you're starting it, when you're alone, it's just you and your camera in front of you, it never stops to feel weird. It really does feel like you've gone bonkers and you're talking to yourself. But for a person who is always in their thoughts, like I do, I'm a critical thinker. I'm also a person I'm an introvert, and I love to, what can I say? If it was not for work or things that get me out of the house, I'm the kind of person who could stay in the house 365 days a year and feel like nothing has changed about my life. So you can imagine putting a camera on a stand and then talking to myself. That's even more weirder. But I do it because I feel like I have something to share with the world. And I hope that one day my kids can go on YouTube, and with all the mess that is out there, and they can find that they can find that their mother had something to say, or she had some thoughts. And my grandkids can also think, oh, grandma had something to say back in the day. Let me just listen to that. So part of the reason why I do this is to help people that I don't even know. However, I do feel as human beings, we are interconnected one way or another, regardless of how much we want to believe it or not. We really are. The Ubuntu is a thing, Yeah, we are interconnected as human beings. Anyway, I thought about talking. I actually, I don't know, for the last 2 months, the topic of friendship has been heavily on my mind. And why? Because I couldn't escape it. There's a couple of things that happened in my life since the last time you saw me here. I got Australian citizenship. So put a bit of a picture here to show you how the event went. So I went to a place called Canada Bay, and I met wonderful people, including the mayor of Canada Bay and a couple of members of parliament, and a couple of councillors were there as well to hand me over a certificate. So I'm officially an Australian citizen. And I can't even believe I'm saying this. Knowing the journey that I've been through for the last 10 years, this year wholeheartedly has just blown my mind. So as if that's not enough, I got married. I am somebody's missus. So it's amazing. It's a good feeling. And I am married to a wonderful gentleman that I feel was single-handedly brought to me by God. Boom, that's it. That's your husband. So I love him dearly, and I'm not going to talk about the wedding because I want to do a video with him and talk about the wedding. I'm also not going to talk about relationships because I want to do that with him as well. So for those who know me, I am very, very personal. What can I say? I like my space. I like privacy. So anything to do with family or people who are close to me, or like, I keep that. I guard that too much. I don't know why. I cannot explain it, but it happens. And in a society that believes that, if you're not married, you shouldn't talk about marriage because what do you know? If you're not in a relationship, you shouldn't talk about love because what do you know? You don't have lived experience. If you don't have kids, you shouldn't talk about children. The society that judges you with the fact that if you don't have lived experience, you don't have anything to say. I've always been very careful because I know that majority of things I know, they're not even based on lived experience. Some of them are based on either wisdom that I have sought or that I nearly said soak. There's nothing like that. I've gone to God and I've prayed about wisdom all my life because I thought of all the things Solomon would have prayed for. He prayed for wisdom and he got it. And I thought he was one of the most, he's a huge figure in the Bible. And I feel like he managed to achieve everything he achieved because of the wisdom he got. And so I've been praying for wisdom all my life, and I feel like majority of things I know are not based on lived experience. And why should I go through the pain if I can just pray to God and get wisdom and learn through that? And why should I go through the pain if I can learn from other people's mistakes, if I can learn from what is out there in the universe? Why should I go through it? I don't like unnecessary pain. If pain is going to come, it better come with gains, and it better be something that is coming with lessons as well. So I don't really dive myself or put myself in positions where I'm going to experience unpleasantness, especially if I don't have to. So I don't know why this is hilarious, but as I say it, it makes me feel like laughing, but I'm digressing. This is the reason why I don't come on here and talk about relationship, but I want to do that because I want to talk about the wedding and the planning and all that crazy 1 year that we've had, but also the blessing that it has been. So I want to talk about friendship because what I've learned in the last couple of days is the power of friendships and how amazing friendships can be. And by friends, I don't even necessarily mean, because friendship is one of those things that makes me think about quantity versus quality. I don't really believe in the quantity of friendships. I actually do believe in the quality, because I would rather have one great friend than have 10,000 people that I call friends that I can trust. So I've always been a person who is, even though I'm an introvert, I love people and I love learning, and I learn a lot from people, and I love especially meeting new people. However, I'm also a person who is heavily guarded. I put my walls up because I really, I find like myself as a human being, I find myself very complex. And I just feel like sometimes it's even hard to understand myself. So that said, now imagine me having, like, let's say 20 friends and then very close and having to understand them. And I always feel like life has always made me feel like I'm always less equipped to manage very intimate and very close friendships. And so it's funny because I'm also not like a high maintenance kind of friend. I'm the kind of friend who, and it's funny because this is reality. I'm talking about reality right now. I'm the kind of person who maintains things, not just people. Like the friends I've had, one of my closest friends, we were friends in class 5. Like we were in boarding school, and the school we were in, it was a boarding school, but also a day school. And I was in boarding and she was a day scholar. But we were so close, you couldn't even believe we were both not day scholars or we were both not boarders. And we still talk today like we used to talk back then. In the 90s. We are still, you cannot even believe we're in different continents, but we still talk like we are still like here next to each other. And even though like we left primary school and we didn't see each other in high school because we went to different high schools, we then met after high school. And it's not even like meeting where we are seeing each other every day because we were still living in different cities. It's more like connecting like we never left. And so it's just amazing how I keep things. I keep people, the people who are in my life. Actually, I feel like sometimes if I knew you 20 years ago and I don't know you today, I feel like you probably left, or I don't know, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. But I hold on to things I treasure, and the same way, people I treasure, I hold on to them for years. So, but I said, I might not know why I act the way I act when I choose friends, or when I keep friendships, or when I leave friendships. But I thought, let me address the Bible, because I feel like most of the things that I've done and decisions that I've made in my life, I've always referenced back to the Bible. And I mean, different people. So this is not to say that this is, I'm not trying to preach to the choir, but I'm just talking about my experience. I don't know, maybe you have a different Bible that you follow, or something that guides the things that you do in life. For myself, the Bible guides the things that I do in my life, or the things that I believe in. And so I thought, let me go back to the Bible and see whether I have actually followed the Bible, what the Bible says about friendships and choosing friends and staying in friendships or choosing friends. And so I got 10 things that I'm going to say, and I don't want this video to be too big or like a 30 minutes kind of thing, but I'll try and go through them and just sort of see if I can. And maybe if you believe in the Bible, especially, I would want you to do it with yourself. As you watch this video, maybe you can get a pen and write it down, and then you can see whether whether it makes sense, or whether these are the Bible verses that guided you in your friendships as you are growing up, or are still guiding you right now. So the first one was, so friends encourage us to our highest good. That's in 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Friends, forgive each other and help each other in difficulties. So Colossians 3:13 and Ecclesiastes 4:10. These two verses do talk about friends should forgive each other and help each other in difficulties. I do believe that and it's hard to talk about what you have been to your friends. I think your friends can only speak to you. So maybe I will see it from my friends' perspectives. I believe my friends have been there for me in times of difficulties, and I hope I have been vice versa. So friends do not gossip or listen to gossip, allowing it to hurt the friendship. So this is in Proverbs 16:28. Something about gossip. So it's interesting because I'm the kind of person who have always feared gossip. When I say gossip is like speaking about someone when they're not there. And we've all found ourselves there where we are two and we were talking about something, and then all of a sudden we're talking about someone. And I always used to feel like this happened to me in college. I think that's when I really understood the power of gossip. I think in college, I did this. I told myself I'm going to do this research, or at least I'm going to do this experiment. I had 4 friends in college, and we were so close. We looked like musketeers. We were always together all the time. And I was always very guarded, even in college. I had so many acquaintances because I love people and I love meeting different people. And however, bringing people close, like making them my best friend, that is something that I'm not very good at. So I really just had 4 friends. And I felt like the friends I understood, they're the friends I felt understood me. And my friends, of course, they also had their own friends, because within our group, some of us were in boarding. We were staying in boarding house. I think they used to call it boarding houses or dorms. And then others were going home. So I only used to board when we have major exams. And then all the other times I used to go home. And then I had some friends who one friend went home all the time, and 2 friends went home all the time, and one was a full-time boarder. So I knew my friends also had their other sets of friends, but I found myself, if we were not the 4 of us, every time we stood somewhere and then maybe randomly other people joined, and now we were like 7, I'll find myself exiting the group. I'll find somewhere to go. I don't know. I've always feared, not feared. I've always felt like, and I'm a strong believer of karma. I'm a strong believer of what goes around comes around. And I feel like if I'm in a group discussing someone, how am I sure that the same group I'm discussing the other someone with, they will not go somewhere else and discuss me? So I don't know. I've never seen the value in small talk. That has been me. And maybe a testament to why I never really could fit in a lot of groups anywhere that I've been in schools, in work, or whatever. Because small talks have always made me feel like I'm wasting time, like I shouldn't be there, like I should be doing something else. So, and people would think, oh my God, you're too deep. Why are you so deep? It's only 7 a.m. We haven't even had breakfast. And to me, I'm like, I'm deep? I'm just being me. So, yeah. So I think friends do not gossip. And I've been so blessed to have friends who really they don't believe in gossip and they don't like small talk. So I have to say, I'm really blessed. Thank you to all my friends out there. You know yourselves. Now, friends stick around even when things get difficult, being reliable. So a friend loves at all times. A brother is born. So hold on. Friends stick around even when things get difficult, being reliable. So that's in Proverbs 18, verse 24. And then on the same course as a friend loves at all times, a brother is born for a time of adversity. That's Proverbs 17, verses 17. And I strongly believe there's nobody who is perfect. We are all trying to do this life. Adulting is hard. Even maintaining friendship is hard because everything is maintenance. Getting a good job and keeping it is maintenance. Having a good friend and staying with them for the rest of your life is maintenance. Being a good spouse is maintenance. Being good to your kids and your kids being good to you is maintenance. So I've always felt like I always want to be there for people, but I feel like people who are always there for others, people are not always there for them. And I think it's because there's always a misconception, if you're always there for people, then you're strong. And when you're strong, you don't need help. So you're strong anyway, you're always here. We need help, you're always showing up. So you don't need us, but we know that we need you. So it's amazing how I know that, for example, I'll share this, it's very personal, but I lost a friend 5 years ago, and it's because my grandma died, and I felt like she was the closest person. She was the closest person I knew at the time, who also knew my grandmother, and my grandmother knew. And because I was in Australia and they were in Kenya, they were the first person I told, and I hoped that when I get to Kenya, they'll be there for me, or they'll be there with me, they'll walk the journey with me. And unfortunately, they didn't. They did not. And when I tried to have that conversation with them to tell them how that made me feel, they made me feel guilty for even bringing that up. And it made me feel like they made me feel like I asked for too much, like I was demanding. I don't know. But I just felt for this person, I would have dropped everything in the world for them. There's nothing they would have wanted in life that I wouldn't have given them, like if it's something that was in my power. And to see that there was not that reciprocal, it came as a shock. Not like I don't even want to say that I was expecting, but it's just that I felt like it would have been a bare minimum to actually show up just for the burial, and it didn't happen. And I mean, when I approached them, they told me to have a good life. And I'm laughing because when something hurts so bad, but you just have to laugh about it, because what's the point of crying? So, but I know that verse for sure taught me that person was not quite a friend. They might have been an acquaintance, or they might have been a friend for that season, but I knew that they were not a true friend. So friends give pleasant, sincere advice, seeking our highest good. That's in Proverbs 27 verses 19, and Proverbs 12 verses 26 says the same thing. So friends honor each other above themselves. That's in Romans 12:10. I strongly believe that, because I do believe I really do honor my friends. And I know that in the past couple of days, especially planning the wedding and everything that I had to do, my partner and I were able to see who are really our true friends, because planning a wedding for people who've done it, that it's not an easy feat. And so also realizing that people have got their own life to live, people have got their own stresses, but they still show up for you. That is what tells you that those friends actually honor your friendship. Friends love each other the same way Christ loves us. That's in John 15:12-13. Friends challenge each other to meet the highest good. I do really believe I'm one of those people who challenge my friends. Like, I feel like I have this close friend, and I was also referencing her before, and we have conversations about how can we better our lives. When I was buying my plot of land a couple of years back, I remember having this conversation with her and telling her, look, in Kenya, there's this wave that's been going on for a couple of years, where women are encouraging, or institutions that are investment institutions that are actually encouraging young women or women to invest, and especially invest in land banking. I've done a video on land banking. I'll put a screenshot here in case you want to watch it. But it's very powerful, especially knowing that I come from a community where women were not meant to inherit land from their parents. Women are still not inheriting land from their parents in some families within my community, even though some parents have really shifted that part of the culture, but it's still very much there. So the conversation about encouraging women to actually invest in land has been going on, and I felt like I jumped on it. I was like, I'm jumping on the bandwagon, and I felt like investing in assets like land, like property, things that actually grow or appreciate in value. It's something that I've always been very passionate about. And we had that conversation with my friend, and to know that she also went on the same journey, I have never been more proud. I'm really proud of her. And that's what I really believe, that friends challenge each other, because it's not easy. It's not like you'll have millions to buy a piece of land, a plot of land. But if you sacrifice yourself over time, you can actually, build a bit of resource to actually invest in your future. So friends are not bad-tempered. Now, this is okay. So this is on in Proverbs 22, verse 24 to 25. I feel like I grew up, maybe my environment, my exposure, whatever that even means, or whatever that looked like back in the day, made me a very hot-tempered kid. I really was always quick to what nowadays people call snapping. I would get upset really quickly. And my upset didn't mean being verbally upset. It's always withdrawing. So where I would shout, and I don't know what to do with the emotions, they're too much, but I'm completely really upset. So I started reading the book of Proverbs, because I believe the book of Proverbs is the book that will tell you, you're hot-tempered, you are a fool. You're hot-tempered, stop being stupid. Like, it tells you in your face things that if people told you, you'd probably be offended. But the book of Proverbs, actually, if you constantly read the book of Proverbs, it will make you a wise person. And I constantly felt like I went through a therapy session just reading Proverbs, like religiously. I mean, like consistently reading the book of Proverbs. It made me feel there was no point. There was many other ways of handling very difficult and tough emotions. So friends never withhold kindness and mercy, which also another thing. I don't even think I would want to be around or be in a world where people are not kind, or people don't show mercy. And so definitely you can imagine that would be a quality that we'll be looking for when I'm looking to build friendships. So I've got some bonus. So that was on Job 6, verse 14. I've got some bonus verses that I saw that I thought have also guided my life so far. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. So this is in 1 Corinthians 15, verses 33. And this literally wholeheartedly guided my teenagehood or my teenage stage. And I feel like maybe if you have a teenager out there, you could share this video with them, because I believe this will guide them. That is a stage where nobody else makes sense in what they're saying apart from my friends. Mom is too old school, dad is too old school. My aunties and my uncles don't know what they're saying, but my friends are it. My friends are the it. My friends, anything that they say, that's the Bible. But I knew that do not be misled. Bad companies corrupt good morals. I didn't know that through my own lived experience. I saw it with other people. And I thought, no, that's not what I want to do. So I feel like it's not easy when you're a teenager, especially. You're still trying to find out who you are. You're literally, it's like you're moving to a different cycle. You're coming from childhood to puberty, and it's hard. Hormones are everywhere, the emotions are everywhere, and everything you're feeling it. The emotions are very, very raw, and everything you're feeling it with too much intensity. So when you don't have this kind of foundations, this kind of foundations on how to, how to select friends, which companies to join, which companies to drop off, to not join. It's hard. And I can imagine, because I've always been the kid who didn't want consequences. So I don't even think I did the right thing merely because I was such a good kid. It's more because I feared consequences. And whatever that even means, punishment, being beaten up, like shame, guilt, all those things are things that probably would have made me listen to this and follow this verse. Walk with wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Now, like I said, Proverbs is that book that will call you stupid, it will call you a fool, and you'll be like, I don't want to be called this, I want to do better. But I learned a lot that if you walk with wise people, you become wiser. If you walk with people who are walking the opposite side of being wise, it's just fools. You're fools and you're following each other to become more foolish. And clearly, I didn't want to become a fool. So choices of making friends who are making choices of choosing friends who are making wise decisions and who are pursuing wisdom has also been one of those things that has really helped me in life. And I can also imagine for a young person out there choosing friends and not quite knowing what are some of those characteristics of a good friend, looking for a person who is wise or who is seeking wisdom. It's one of the traits that I think would also support you in your pursuit of wisdom. The last one, do to others as you would have them do to you. And I believe, obviously, we've all known about this verse, and it's basically what mostly in Hinduism, or is it Hinduism or Buddhism? One of those doctrines, they do believe in karma. And it's more like you do good here. It's not necessarily where you do good is where you're actually going to get your reward. Your reward will probably come from a very, very different place. It's coming because of the good, because of the seed you've planted somewhere. So I feel like I do this video because I feel like there's so many friendships. We all have looking for foundations of friendships and looking for reasons why we need to keep friends, we need to maintain friends, we need to leave friendships. But I felt like these verses here really could be a good guidance or a good tool, especially for young kids growing up, but also for us as adults to actually get a little bit of a guidance or a little bit of a foundation, firm foundation on maintaining friendships, because I know the power of friendships because I have seen it in the last couple of days. And in the next couple of videos, my partner and I'm gonna go and talk nicely to him so that he can come do a video with me and we can dive deeper into the topic of friendship and what friendship had, and knowing and maintaining and appreciating and honoring good friends and vice versa, and them doing the same to you, how that can actually be beneficial. The person who said your net worth is your net worth knew what they were saying. I'm going to recommend a couple of books here. So firstly, there's this one. So it's called Eliminate Negative Thinking. And this book, so it will help you if you want to break free from negative thought patterns, stop worrying and learn to think positive. So this is a good book for you if you're learning to think positive. Boost Your Self-Esteem in 30 Days by Mark Recru. This book is also a very good book, especially because this is the same author who wrote How to Become a People Magnet. This is a good book for people who are trying to figure out friendships and maintaining, especially because for you to be a good friend, for you to be a good friend to other people, I believe it starts from being a good friend to yourself or being nice to yourself. So boosting your self-esteem definitely will help you maintain good friends or maintain good friendships. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I believe this book this book will help you solve one of the biggest problems you face, how to get along with and influence people in your daily business and social life. So I would recommend that book as well. I'll try and put a picture of all these books somewhere here on this video and encourage you to get them, and also How to Talk to Anyone. This is a book by Lael Lotz. I think that's how their name is pronounced. So yeah, this is basically a beautiful book as well. I haven't dived into this one, but just from the title, which I know that I will very soon, I'm very sure this would also be a blessing to you. So thank you so much for popping here. I thought I'm coming back. I better come back with a bang. Hope this was a bang enough. However, please share this video with anyone you reckon it might resonate with, especially if you do have teenagers who are your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters. Please share this with them, and hopefully in their journey or in their pursuit of finding, maintaining, and growing and honoring friendships. Those Bible verses can actually guide them. So until the next one, thank you for popping in. God bless your adventures, and please share this video, and don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time here. And until the next one, bye.